the ad agency collected money from you and they are paying money to the media, whether TDS will be attracted or not. TDS is not attracted in that particular case. Okay. The reason is, for the ad agencies, it is not advertisement for them. They are acting on behalf of us. Okay. Then the next one is ad agency when they are paying to models or artists. Then since it involves professional skill, then TDS under 194J is applicable. Then okay, advertisement includes sponsorship of debates as well. Then the first case of advertisement. Second, payment made for putting up a hoarding. So if you are paying any amount towards putting up a hoarding, then it will be attracting TDS under 194C. On the other hand, if you have taken any space, then in such case 194I will be attracted. Okay, so you have to distinguish between whether it is a contract for space or it is a contract for putting up a hoarding. Then sums paid by the cable operators to the TV channels, again TDS will be attracted. Okay, all these instances are given in circular 715. Okay, then let us see the other case, traveling and clearing agents cases. So first we have seen ad agencies, later on we are moving to the special issues involved in traveling agents versus C&F agents. Okay, when you are purchasing a ticket through a travel agent, the privity of contract is between you and the airline, because the travel agent has never an intention to travel. He is purchasing a ticket on behalf of you. So he is establishing a contract between you and the airlines. That's why TDS is not attracted there. On the other hand, C&F agents, clearing and forwarding agents, they act in an independent capacity. It means they act as the principal agent. They act as a principal. In the first case, traveling agent case, they are acting as an agent to you. But whereas in the case of C&F agents, they are acting in their principal capacity. Hence, TDS provisions under 194C are applicable so far as C&F agents are concerned. But so far as travel agents are concerned, it is not covered. Okay. So, on the other hand, if the company hires a bus, if the entity hires any bus or any other transport vehicle, then in such case TDS will be attracted. Okay. Then payment to C&F agents. Then let us see the next one, courier services. Okay. So courier, what is supplying? Is supplying documents. Document will also be treated as goods, and hence, okay, courier services will also be covered within the scope of 194C. Then non-resident shipping companies, okay, whether they are covered within the scope of 194C or not. When you are making some payment to non-resident shipping companies, okay, you need not deduct TDS under 194C. Sir, why I need not deduct? See, in the first instance we have seen that tax is to be paid in advance, either by way of TDS or by way of advance tax. If you see section 172, which governs the provisions of shipping business of a non-resident, they are paying even before the departure of the ship entire tax amount, or at most 30 days will be given to them. So since they are paying directly the entire advance tax amount, you need not do any TDS. Hence it is clearly excluded from the scope of 194C. Then catering contracts. Okay, catering does not include serving of food in the restaurants. It is clearly clarified there. Then payment to electricians. Okay, it is covered within the scope of 194C. AMCs. Okay, wherever there is no technical element involved, then it is covered under 194C. If there is a technical element involved, then it will attract 194J.